What's up guys, it's Davis, and today I want to show you something really special. Actually, this is the highlight of my trip to Korea. It's a long anticipated Supra Widebody. As you guys know already, it's been only 2 months since we launched this bumper. We really love the design and we had like a lot of requests to do a wide body, so I was like thinking, oh, maybe it is time to do a wide body, which is a little too early, but we decided to work on the wide body, and here it is, our first prototype wide body. Everything you see here are definitely prototypes, so this is all done, sanded. I mean, it's been 3D printed and then we sanded by hand to fit everything just to make sure the fitment is on point. And as far as I see it right now, we're pretty happy with the fitment. So let me just go through with you guys what we changed on this car. Of course, this is our ADRO bumper, plastic mold injection, Supra MK 5.1. But we had to come up with a new hood because honestly, my personal opinion is I didn't like that huge hump on the front fender of the Supra OEM hood, which kind of makes a sporty car a little heavy. So first thing I did was I actually lowered this fender quite a bit, about 20 millimeters, to lower everything. I think I explained previously, this shape, as soon as you lower the shape, it becomes wider. So we wanted to get the fender as wide as possible from the front. And by doing so, the car is way lower, and also at the same time, we added this front fender with the air vents. Lowering this fender gave us way more freedom. If you look at all the wide body Supras out there, they had to somehow work with the hump in the front, so the fender was not really low. They always had to integrate it with that hump, so the front fender always looked a little bit, how should I say, heavy in my opinion. By enabling the hood, we were able to widen the front fender as a true wide body should resemble. And then we added these air vents. Another key feature that we implemented from the front is this time what we tried to do on the front was we wanted to really show off the wide body, which is basically the fender, trying to make it as wide as possible. In order to do that, we lowered the hood and then we pulled the front out about 75 millimeters. And then we try to give this fender as much real estate as possible. I do think it looks really, really wide from the front. And by doing that, we added a canard and a front lip that acts like a canard. So it's like a dual canard, starting from the front lip to the actual canard itself. Oops. It fits like a glove, you know? Like, look at this. I didn't put anything on it, but it just stays there. It's on it. Pretty happy with the fitment on the front. Now let's go to the side. Okay, now I want to show you guys what we did on the side. Of course, if you remember our V2 side skirts, it has these tunnel to let the air flow out front wheel and a huge fin, but we accentuated that even more because it's a wide body. We could keep this and then pull this out so much that there's a lot of room for air to flow out from the front wheel. I think that's one of the sexiest aspects of this car. And by doing that, we did a side skirt that goes all the way to the rear, connected to the fender. We don't want to put side skirts all the way till the end because you want to actually see this fender run all the way around to the bottom, which kind of gives that stance of a wide body. This is one of my favorite parts of the car, giving it that humongous rear stance. For me, stance is everything in a car. So that's the rear fender. The biggest struggle I had with the rear fender was, like what we did on the front, I wanted to put this rear fender as low as possible. As I mentioned before, the lower you get, you see more shoulder. But the biggest problem, we were contemplating till the very end if we should change the whole rear quarter panel, but it turned out that all these parts are welded. I mean, we can, but like our customers will not be able to take the rear quarter panel off. So we decided to put the rear fender as a bolt-on. And there's such a limit to how low you can go then, because you can't chop everything off. So this is the best solution I came up with, and this is like very close to the body, but I could not get any lower. So this is the lowest we can get. But still really happy with how full and soft the rear fender looks like. I'm really happy because it flows with the car. Nothing's out of place, so this is how the rear fender turned out. Also, I know a lot of people are gonna ask why not using hidden hardwares. So these are exposed hardwares. We really wanted to do hidden hardwares, but the only problem was, in order to do a hidden hardware, you should be able, your hand should be able to reach the under panel for the nut to actually tighten it. But because this fender is so far inboard to the car, there is no space where you can reach your hand. So that's why, unfortunately, it's exposed hardware, because you can tap it in with rivets. You don't need to go under the car. Still, I think it's a very subtle exposed hardware. Because of the body flowing so seamlessly, it still looks sexy, I think. Let's go to the rear. Unfortunately, we don't have the ATP wing, which is, I think, the highlight of this car, the reverse swan neck. It's still in production, so we have our ATR2 wing, which looks a little too small for this car, but we'll have that ready for the Tokyo Auto Salon. So the highlight of the rear is because we came out about 95 millimeters wide from the rear. It's humongous, and we can't tuck that all the way in. So we created a vent that looks like this. I have an extra piece. It looks like this, where you can make this feel like it's a one black piece. So it kind of looks like a rear air vent. Unfortunately, it's not functioning, but so that's what we try to do. Make it as wide as possible. You don't want to see the body color over here. The further you go out, the car actually appears wider. And same thing what we did on the side, having a side skirt fin and a tucked in rear fender so that to let the airflow out, held by 3D printed fin. This is the diffuser that we have currently, which we modified to actually fit this wide body because it's actually physically wider. So one of the key features of this hood is, of course, we have the air vents. A lot of complaints we heard was that when it rains or you're washing the car, the water just flows inside the engine to the alternators or the intakes, which kind of leads to some damage to the inside of the hood. So what we did was we kept a little bit of a lip that's about 10 millimeters high, so that on like small rain or water, it doesn't just go through the engine, but it kind of blocks it right there. I think that's one of the, I'm proud of this feature, but it's one of the key points, this hood. All right, guys, so that was a breakdown of the ADRO Supra Widebody. Of course, right now there's 4 colors: black, gray, green, light green, and also it's kind of hard to visualize, but I can totally tell that this is gonna be a pretty sick Supra Widebody. So many people were involved in this project and everybody's happy about the result. I can't wait to show you guys the final result in Tokyo Auto Salon 2025. See you guys there.